What's it like being back for this third series of Hustle?
It's great. It's great. I'm the only one who answered that. Come on. It's great.
That's good.
It's great. It's great.
Time plays a funny sort of trick doing this show because it's almost like we come back together. It's like we've had a weekend off rather than 7 months off. You know.
Felt like that on the first day.
Yeah. This is a job that never ends.
It does feel like for the past 3 years, it feels like you do the other work in between doing Hustle.
Hustle's your proper
Hustle's your
job.
proper job,
Yeah.
and then you pop off and I'll do a bit of theatre, I'll do a bit of that, did a bit of telly on that, and then you come back and you're back into Hustle.
I call them all the time over there, 6, 7 months. I go, nobody ever responds.
I've told you my phone's broke.
I know.
It's broke.
Can't find them. They're
Robert who?
Egypt.
Robert who? Vaughan. Oh, I knew a Vaughan once.
Hold up. I thought we were ruthless con artists. When did we turn into Robin Hood and his merry bleeding men?
Where does this third series open up? Where do the crew find themselves this time round?
Homeless.
In a council flat.
Yeah, we're stuck in a council flat because we haven't got a swanky apartment because of Danny's antics at the end of the second series. Means that all the hotels know our faces and won't let us stay anywhere near them, so we've got nowhere to live.
Not being funny, mate, okay? We need a new gaff, because I can smell cats.
Do we learn anything more about the characters this time round?
You learn more, with Hustle, you learn more about what kind of people they are under pressure, what kind of things they will say, what kind of things they will do, who they can dress up and be. you get more of that. There's not a strong push on backstory or
I think they're trying to slowly, this year at least, introduce some elements of I wouldn't use the word fantasy, but something that takes you off of the normal storyline of a regular, straightforward drama and puts the characters in a different place in time, in a different period of time, or a different part of the world, in some sort of dream sequence. That's not dwelled upon heavily, but it's still part of the format this year, more so, I think, than it was the first years.
It was a feature of the first year that there were a couple, as with the slow motion moments in Hustle, which is kind of its signature, if you like, that it would take reality and just heighten it to a sort of dream sequence point where we could walk through frozen bodies, take cards, we could do all of these things in order to explain an element of the con. And this fantasy is now has an emotional taint to it, so we fly off and do those moments of fantasy, be it going back 100 years.
Whittaker Wright had been running a scam on the stock exchange, but the banks double-crossed him. Accused of fraud and stripped of his assets, James Whittaker Wright was sentenced to 15 years hard labor at the Old Bailey.
The thing about Hustle is, I mean, you do anything with it. I mean, that's the pleasure of it. You don't have to stick to a strict, regimen in terms of what you can and can't do. You can have flashbacks, you can flash forward, you can do fantasy sequences, you can do anything. Because in a sense, it is what it says, what it does on a tin.
And we can be cool in it, which is another fantasy.
What's he saying?
Didn't hear a word.
I just like dressing up, really. I mean, I'm a bit of an old tart when it comes to that. And, just putting on lots of makeup. I don't mean lots of makeup in the biblical sense, but lots of makeup and getting stuck into the characters bit, really. I like to do an old man. I had to do a sort of 75-year-old man and go through sort of 3-hour makeup job for that, which was great. I enjoyed that.
You're wasting your time. The yuppies are on holiday again.
People were watching, general members of the public were watching, and they thought
I was an old geezer.
it's just a guy come out of his house watching the filming.
Yeah.
We used to call her Queenie on account of her resemblance to,
How well did you know them?
Well, I used to play with Harry, yeah. But then one day they was just gone.
The thing about Hustle is as well that you just get an opportunity to do things that you'd never normally do as an actor, and I think it is like it's not like going to work. It's just like playing, really.
We got a chance to do a black and white silent movie sequences, where I was basically parodying Charlie Chaplin, and I would never, in a million years, get the chance to be cast in that kind of role. So when that was handed to me, we all just went for it, and I loved doing all that falling over and the slapstick and the double takes, and it was a joy to be released in that way and be able to play with all of that stuff before coming back down to being Mickey.
It helps if they think you're an idiot.
I like playing the extreme characters and anything which is against type. So I had to play a character, a music producer called Missy Dupree. I see bad boy, baby.
I see bad boy, baby. Virginity theft, sneaking into girls' bedrooms at night, slapping them around and leaving them a rose on the pillow. I see fast cars and guns, mindless violence and group sex. Kids like hiding his records in their bedrooms because they don't want to be grounded for life. Let's take that generation gap and all that institutional crap, open it up and rip out your grandma's heart. You feel me?
We had to keep on cutting because the other actors were just giggling so much. They were just laughing so much.
Very
it was
funny.
ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
वो एक फरिश्ता थी जिसकी खूबसूरती
I loved doing the Bollywood dance. That was just a joy to do. We were in the dustiest, dirtiest, coldest place, but then the music would come on, and even when the camera wasn't on us, we were doing the dance behind camera because we just loved doing it.
The highlight probably was running naked around Trafalgar Square with Adrian. Well, I actually did a little scene before we did that scene. I was running at 7:30 in the morning from behind the telephone box. You know, and there's all commuters, and they didn't. And I was just running naked. And I mean, you'll never get to do that in your life, you know, because it's illegal. But so that was
fattening.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go! We all loved playing dress up when we were kids.
Yeah.
And we managed to translate it into an actual job.
The king of the little characters, little character pieces is Robert Glenister.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's absolutely amazing.
We turned up at a read-through, and I don't know if the script had been changed, but we got the script, and it had written down very strong Welsh accent. The driver of the van is chatting away, and then you turn around and you reveal that it's Ash. And we were thinking, very strong Welsh accent. Well, normally when we're playing a character, so great, what accent should I use? Well, this was specific.
Specific.
It wasn't, we could choose what we wanted, it was specific. We got to this point in the reading and we thought, bloody hell, how's he going to do this? And he just nailed it.
Oh, do
Suddenly
a
this
bit.
voice came
I am
out.
half Welsh, actually, to be
That's
fair.
why, that's why.
Oh, don't say
My
that.
mother's Welsh.
This
Right, you cut
voice
that.
came out, we went,
Yeah.
Take everything back.
Yeah.
you've
Do you know
been
what I mean?
Dutch, you've been Irish, you've been, yeah, he's been everything.
Oh, yeah, Dutch, yeah.
Yeah, but this time because we're also used
He sang
to
in
doing-
Hindi.
We're so
What
used
else
to
did
doing
that?
these brilliant accents. When we come to the Bollywood script in the read-through, he started doing this kind of Indian accent, and then he went, "Nah, I'm only joking. We're not going to do that." And he do his own accent. We were all like,
Oh, please don't do that accent.
exactly.
Most people, when they try and do an Indian accent, it comes out Welsh. There was that
Well,
joke
when
in
I
the
do-
two
when I
Ronnies,
do
wasn't it?
Welsh, it comes out Indian. Yeah.
Before you all come up with a plan, okay? No. I know you think this is the funny bit where you get a little scam together, dress me up as an astronaut, Frogman, Joe Nighty, whatever, okay? But I draw the line getting off a plane before it's landed.
Have your feelings towards the show changed?
I don't feel so nervous anymore. I felt really nervous. I mean, obviously you feel nervous when you start a new job and everything, but usually most actors, you work on something the most 6 weeks or 2 months if it was a film or something. But to be in a long-running series, I just look around and, I adore these people. And, I know they adore me too. And it's a very supportive atmosphere, so I don't feel scared of making a mistake.
You said I'd have proper training.
First time you do something as well, you're making decisions that, I mean, you get a lot of support from the powers that be, but you're still making decisions that you're not 100% sure about. And I think the more you do it, the more confident you have about, the decisions you're making, because you've got a sort of you sort of got a background behind you, and you sort of get to. We all know each other a lot better now than we did first time round. So I mean, I think that all contributes to a sort of growing collective confidence, if you like.
And we all know what the abilities of other people, so we're always kind of pushing each other. Oh, go on, make him, make him camp, make him camp. That'd be a brilliant idea, and kind of buzzing off each other much more.
Somebody stop it!
Yo, hold it! Hey! You got this lady's bag?
No, it's my bag.
Come here. It's all right, lady, we got him. It's your bag.
Oh, thank you so much.
We do not play a straight-laced drama where we play the same character all the way through. They ask us to make some very ridiculous things seem real and possible. And we get the script and we'll go home and think, now, how am I supposed to get all that information and that bit of trickery into the script and make it look like it could really happen? And everybody comes right up to the mark and does it. And actually, we now are watchful that the writers and producers don't get complacent and don't relax, and we want to be pushed. We want to keep hustle, keeping the audience on its toes. If they keep us on our toes, then we keep the audience on their toes.
How have your feelings towards the show changed?
You are in everyone's living room, so there was a noticeable change on the street. People spotting you and calling you various names.
Just
from but a lot of people go, "It's that guy from Spooks," or "Oh no, it's Andy Peters." Those people are no longer alive, and I keep going on about it because I do find it quite a tough pull when we're doing so many hours and we're leaving the house so early in the morning. But I've got a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, and it's been within this period, and it just kind of, I really feel that's quite a testing thing to do, to have 2 small kids and be working this hard. I mean, we hardly have a personal life, so I hardly get a chance to put the daddy time in. So it's something that you kind of always want. And it makes your job easier. After this job is finished, getting other jobs will be easier because of it. But it has been quite hard. It is a lot of hard work.
Smile, sweetie boy.
Well, this job was my first gig. I left drama school and I was kind of jobbing along and kind of wondering if it would ever happen, and hearing about great jobs and kind of wondering why casting directors wouldn't see me, because they wanted someone with a profile, someone that they knew, and I didn't have any experience. So when I got this, it was just it was amazing. I mean, I was over the moon to get this job. I didn't know what a best boy was or a gaffer. I didn't know how things worked. I'd spend I remember at the end of the first series kind of Mark laughing at me because I was like, oh, I thought he was the dolly. He was like, no, he's the best boy.
The other day, Richard Chamberlain came and did a guest on this, and he sent me something and he had his address on it, and Robert wanted his address. And my best friend phoned me. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just about to phone Robert Vaughan to give him Richard Chamberlain's address." And that's how my life's changed.
Elvis, what did I tell you about playing that crap? You want to do your own songs? Go on Pop Idol. It's supposed to be a sing-along night, where you play songs people already know, so they can sing along to them. The clue's in the title, dickhead.
The people that we've got to work with has been... I mean, that has meant I've sat, on set with people and gone, what the hell? It's that guy, because Ken Cranham and Richard Chamberlain and the list goes on. But the people who've come in to guest on the show have been phenomenal. They're people that you watch on television before you even thought about acting.
Well, that's what's nice
admired.
about it. Yeah, but that's what's nice about it as well, because it's not just about writing for the 5 of us. I mean, they write cracking parts for the guests, and that's why I think that's the reason we get such good people in this, because people want to play those parts.
Well, one thing is, I've never in my entire life, and it's almost 50 years now, ever known I was going to be working 2 years from now in the same job. And we were told that we were going to do this series a 3rd year and a 4th year this spring. So that's very unusual, almost unheard of. Even in America with the hit series, you still are only notified toward the end of the last show of that year that you're going to be working the next year. And the other thing is, when I did the series Man from U.N.C.L.E., before I did that series, I had been guest starring on 80% of the shows in America were westerns at that time, and 80% of the guest stars were always the bad guy, and the hero of the Western was the good guy. So then I got to be a good guy in Man from U.N.C.L.E. for 4 years, and I thought, well, now I'm going to be getting a lot of good parts. Well, the first movie I did after Man from U.N.C.L.E. was called Bullet, and as my wife said, he played the world's meanest, coldest man who you'd like to slap in the face every time you see him, and he's wearing a three-piece suit. So, and basically, I have gone back until this show, going back to playing that meanest bad guy we like to slap in the face until I started doing this again, and now it's kind of a little somewhere in between Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Bullet and the characters I played
I'm going to
before.
slap him and kiss him.
Yes, that's right.
Exactly, you're not sure.
And these contacts, are you absolutely sure they can be trusted?
Oh, yes.
It still amazes me, Robert talking about Bullet, and me sitting next to him.
I know.
It still just blows me away.
Oh yeah, we all feel that. We all constantly.
I was sitting next to them waiting to do a take, Richard Chamberlain and Robert Vaughan Square. So did you meet Marilyn Monroe? Yeah. Yeah, well, I think I did.
Yeah, I did. I went to...
No, that was the Charlton Heston picture. Were you in that one? I mean, that was in Turkey, huh? I was just like trying to be really quiet and still, so they just carry on.
Carry on talking without knowing you. One thing that surprises me with Mark was we were talking before, and this is the first time. You said it was the first time that you'd had a chance to, as an actor, to really get into the comedy, to explore the timing and the comic vein, which. On the Vice and so on, and the stuff you've done before, you've been known as quite a method, very, an actor's actor, who, the darker sides and the grit and the burn of playing characters, and then you do something like this, and all that. What you get all of that stuff with a comic edge, which is what's brilliant. And the amount of times we've been sat on set cracking up because we can't do a take because he's making us laugh, and yet this is the first time. The first time that you've been doing that, which I always find surprising.
I do love watching Mark.
Thank you.
Thanks for the support.
But that's what's so nice about this show, isn't it? That you actually do get the opportunity to see people do things that you'd never see them do elsewhere. Yeah. And that's what's so great about it.
I know in America, not a show that I was involved in, but I know sometimes a large cast of people in a show, Dallas or whatever it might be, and that it can be a clinker, and that really makes you not want to go to work that day because you got to meet a sour face every day and deal with their problems, their professional problems, their personal problems. That hasn't happened in this show, and I'm sure it never will.